of times when you feel like there's not enough opportunity around, you're just not tuned into the right signal to see it. And the way to tune into the right signal to see it is adding this filter where you filter everything else out and you're tuning in to only look for those specific people that you want to serve in their specific way. As a creative, how do you price your work? And I'm going to show you there's 4 levels to it. And if you can get to the 4th level, that's how you can build a business that's going to scale and has no cap, and you can make a lot more money and be a lot more enjoying what you're doing. So level 1 is you just figure out what other people charge. You're starting out and you're like, I don't know, what do people charge to do weddings? What do people charge to do real estate videos? And then you usually charge a little less. So your pricing is determined by the competition, which is always a losing formula, and you're just a commodity. Level 2, I'd say, is you just make it up. You kind of get to a point where like, okay, I know how much work this is, and I kind of just have this gut feeling of what feels right. And you just, okay, I was charging 1,000. I just start maybe increasing pricing when I'm getting burned out. Also, no real rhyme or logic to it. You're just kind of increasing pricing based off of it, and you're still grinding, burning out. 3rd level is you start actually like taking some intentional thought, and you figure out, okay, how much do I want to make? And then how much do I want to work? So what that could look like is I want to make $100,000 a year, and I only want to work 10 weddings a year. Great. I need to charge $10,000 a wedding, right? Or I'm going to do 20 weddings. Now that's $5,000 a wedding. Really simple formula. You could also do it by, if you're not wedding, you could do it by how much do I want to make divided by how many hours a year do I want to work. So it's very logical, but the hard part is it doesn't give you a good filter, because what can happen is you quote something based off that and then they say no. And then your confidence starts to shake. You're like, I don't know if I'm worth it. So then you start dropping your price because you start feeling behind, and then you start taking on work that's below that. And now you're finding yourself at the end of the year not making enough money and maybe working with clients that are not a great fit. Level 4 is where you're going to actually take level 3, how much do you want to work versus how much you want to earn. But instead of viewing it as a ceiling, you're going to use it as your like base minimum. It's your floor. It's your filter to make decisions. So it's going to do a couple things. If you want to be making $200,000 a year and you only want to be doing 10 shoots a year, then you need to be doing at least $20,000 a shoot. If anything comes up below that, you need to know in your heart, it's okay to turn it down, because you just have to like have blinders on and only look for opportunities above it. Here's a couple things it does. So you need to know that every client isn't going to be a good fit. So for your own confidence, especially for creative, solar business owner, emotions are a thing. And when people say no, it's really hard to not question your own value and think you're worth less. And understanding that you could be the same person and provide different value in different situations. So for us, if we work with a client and they're only making $100,000 a year and they're going to work with us like as a brand, paying $20,000 to do a shoot for them probably doesn't make sense to grow their business, right? But if we're working with a brand that's doing $2 million a year and we can help them do this new product launch, it's going to make them $400,000. $20,000 seems like a great deal. So the value isn't determined in your own worth of like who you are and like what type of camera you do and what you're doing. The value is based off of the client that you're serving. Same thing with weddings. If you're shooting $1 million wedding versus a $100,000 wedding, the value and the leverage is what are you doing for the client. So for level 4 is you have that filter and you're really only looking for opportunities that you can provide that value. So saying I want to make $200,000 a year and you divide that by how much you want to work doesn't mean automatically that's what you're worth. You need to find a way to make value for other people in that level. Having this base filter and then only looking for options above will give you like new eyes to see opportunity that's been around you the whole time, but there's too much noise and signal around you to really see it. So in the world, there's so many things going on. And a lot of times when you feel like there's not enough opportunity around, it's not that there's not enough opportunity. You're just not tuned into the right signal to see it. And the way to tune into the right signal to see it is adding this filter where you filter everything else out and you're tuning in to only look for those specific people that you want to serve in their specific way. And part of it is, who do you want to serve and how do you want to serve them? Like, why do you want to do it? So is it weddings? Is it commercial? Who are you attracted to serve, right? You need to figure that out. But the money side is really important because you could want to serve businesses, but if you don't have a filter of how much value you're going to provide for them, you're capping how much value you can help them. So having a number really helps you know, hey, I'm only looking for ways that I could provide this much value for other people. So if you're like, I want to make $200,000 and I only want to do 10 shoots a year, anything under 20K, you're just not going to be entertained to look at. So if you quote something for 20 and they're like, oh, that's too expensive, that's fine. That's not saying you're too expensive. It's just, it didn't make sense for whatever they were doing, right? And you need to figure out a way, what are the clients, who are the people that would find value for what I'm doing, right? And how do I help solve their problem? So it's a filter, opportunities are all around you. When you can filter for those, you'll actually be able to see the opportunities, versus when you have no filter, there's so much noise, you're not going to see any of it. But when you can really tune in to see who am I passionate about serving and at what level do I want to serve them, you'll start having a focus and you'll be able to see the opportunities around you. You'll start growing your business instead of feeling you're playing catch up all the time. You have conviction of knowing that you have the ability to serve these people. And you're going to know that, hey, if I go serve this client and discount my services, now that's somebody I'm not going to be able to serve at a higher level. So for you, what level are you at, and how can you go to the next level and really start doing value-based pricing where you're focusing on serving people and helping them solve their problem and not just focus on yourself? Thanks for watching. I hope this brought you a ton of value, maybe challenged the way you think about pricing and how you create value in your business for others. If you're a business owner, you're a creative, and you're making at least $100,000 in your business currently, and you're looking to grow without adding on more hours and more stress, but you want to be intentional about it, this is for you. You could head over to hugotellier.com/the intensive to check it out and apply to see if it's a good fit. And if that's not you or you're not ready yet, there's also more videos on the website. I also have the book list, which is a little plug on books. I think books, I wish I discovered them earlier on in my life, but they're one of the best ways. You just get to spend time with a really smart person who's spent intentional time to put a ton of info into one spot in a course of 7 to 10 hours, and you can glean a lot of wisdom. So if you want to get more into books, or you are into books and you just want a good list of books that I found that's really helped us grow our business and our life, you get to check it out, get the full list. I think there's like 36 books on there right now, and I'm working on adding little summaries. There's also a filter. You can see like if you want to do personal development, growth, all that good stuff. That's also there. But with that, thank you for listening. I hope this brought you value, maybe challenge what you think. And with that, I will see you in the next one.